The Alabama Crimson Tide rolled yesterday over Tennessee Chattanooga 66-10. I don't really want to talk about that game though. Let's take a step back and let's just look at the journey for Alabama. Because when you look at Alabama and the way they've played since that loss to Texas, since that players only meeting after the USF game, I think it's very difficult to make a case against Alabama and the reason why they shouldn't have a shot at the title belt. And I'm talking about a college football playoff berth because we already know they got that date set in Atlanta against Georgia. You would imagine it'll be number 1 ranked Georgia, and Alabama, you would imagine, will be right within striking distance of finding their way into that top 4. And the path forward for them, there's a couple of ways you could look at it. We'll talk about the scenarios here in just a second. We'll talk about the case for them regardless of scenarios here in just a second. First things first, though, Alabama fans, make sure you're subscribed. Had a lot of y'all get at me on socials. Had a lot of y'all subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet joined the party and subscribed, hey man, we love to have you. You're tied. They got a lot of big games ahead of them. They have a very big game in Atlanta ahead of them. We'll talk about the Iron Bowl this week. Bottom line, just make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a minute of what we got going on here right here on the Hard Count on the On3 YouTube channel. Also, again, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JD Pakel. Appreciate y'all in advance for that. Okay, so we're going to let it play out a little bit here. But let's talk through Alabama's case for the college football playoff. This is not a knock against other teams. This is not an anti-Texas segment or an anti-Pac-12 segment or an anti-Florida State segment. Though if you're Alabama, again, there's a couple of scenarios that probably help you to get into the college football playoff, one of which being maybe you get some chaos in the ACC. I think a SEC champ Alabama, if they beat the number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs, would be in over ACC champion Louisville with 1 loss. If you get some chaos in the Pac-12, maybe you find your way getting a spot over them because Oregon's got the eye test right now. It seems like from the committee. At the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of conversation around the head-to-head with Texas and Bama. But let's just take a look at this from an overarching point of view. I think Alabama should feel real good about themselves when it comes to their chances for a college football playoff berth, based on a couple of important factors that the committee has told us they care a whole lot about. First of which being the resume. Yeah, you got the loss to Texas, but okay, let's be clear here. We hate saying the phrase good loss because there's no such thing as a good loss, but in the committee's eyes there is. And your loss is to number 11 Texas. Okay, it's unfortunate because that's the team that you're trying to hop over to get to the college football playoff. But look at the resume in itself. A win over 15 Ole Miss, a win over 17 Tennessee, a win over number 14 LSU. Again, the committee, they freeze those wins from what we can tell by how they've ranked these teams to this point in the year, meaning they're giving you credit for beating that team when they were ranked. Also, it's been pretty definitive. All 3 of those ranked wins by 2 scores. No doubt. No doubt there. So they have the resume, but more importantly, they have the eye test, and I think the eye test for the committee is growing increasingly more important as we move towards conference championship weekend. They are clicking right now, y'all. They are clicking. Jalen Milroe has become the engine for the offense. We thought it'd be the offensive line. It is now Jalen Milroe. What he does with his legs, putting defenses in conflict, saying, okay, you want to try to, be worried about my legs and my ability to scramble and make you pay on the ground? Want to give me extra attention? Well, keep your eyes on me. That's fine. Isaiah Bond right behind you. Jermaine Burton right behind you. Been able to take more advantage of those weapons. You want to key on Jalen Milroe? Okay, well, Jason McClellan, he'll get downhill. The offensive line gets a little bit more of an advantage when you have to worry about the quarterback getting around the edge. Also, the defense, man, they've played substantially better since week 2. And that's really what I want to say here. This is not the same team that played against Texas week 2 that we saw in Tuscaloosa. Because that was a team that I think was really talented, but they didn't know who they were just yet. And that's why Alabama fans, at the end of the day, man, you just want a shot at the crown. You just want your shot at the belt because of how much better your team has gotten since week 2. Week 2, it was a real nice car with no GPS. The thought was, hey, we'll find our way there eventually. This is a nice car. We'll eventually end up where we're supposed to be, right? Well, there was no direction. This team, again, did not know who they were. Now, you have a tremendous GPS. You got Jalen Milroe setting the direction. You got Tommy Rees has revamped this offense and kind of created a new approach for them on that side of the football. And the defense playing with more confidence every single week in the secondary, they're playing their best ball right now. And that's why I think you feel worlds better about this game against Georgia than you likely felt in September. And so I think you should feel worlds better, because if you take down the number 1 ranked team in the country in Atlanta, we're not predicting it right now, I promise you, we will when it gets closer. If you take down the number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs, and that is the last thing the committee sees, listen, I'm not in those rooms, but I would have to imagine it will be very, very difficult for that committee to say, that's nice, but not one of the top 4 teams. I understand. You're still in line to get there. I don't know what has to happen exactly, or what's going to happen exactly for Alabama to find their way in. But if you handle business and you beat Georgia, that's a pretty good mic drop. At that point, I think you can feel pretty good and say, hey, we did all we wanted to do to this point. Since that loss, we've done everything we could do. And you kind of rest your case. Now, I also want to say this, too, as we head into final couple of weeks here of the season. Do you remember all of the irresponsible things said about Nick Saban after that loss to Texas at home? Don't get it twisted. It was a bad loss. It was not a good-looking operation from Alabama that day. Did not look like they had their identity. Did not look like they had their direction. But Texas, one, has proven they're actually a really good football team. So that loss, I don't think, is something to just totally hang your head on. 2, they have a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, new quarterback, with a unique skill set, mind you, that I think you have to really put in position to be successful. And oh, by the way, you've won every single game since that game week 2. That's a credit to Nick Saban. That's a credit to him getting this thing headed the right direction, with the right focus, with the right identity, with the right game plan to be as successful as they've been. So no, I don't think Nick Saban's lost his fastball to make all those new and unique pieces work together to the tune of only 1 loss heading into rivalry weekend. I don't think that's the case. And even if Alabama doesn't make the playoff, let's say Alabama wins the SEC and they somehow are left on the outside looking in. Let's just say it happens. I think at that point, again, you kind of just say, all right, that's the way the cards fell. But you don't say Nick Saban somehow lost his fastball because he got left out as a 1-loss SEC champ. That's just the chaos of college football. Did you control everything that you needed to get in? No. That would have meant you were undefeated. But to say that Nick Saban is somehow off his game because of that, heck, to say Nick Saban is somehow off his game to get this team to Atlanta after the way they started, after the way they looked against USF, like, we're kidding ourselves. We're kidding ourselves, and we're keeping an agenda against Nick Saban if that's the train of thought. Because if that's your train of thought, either 1, you have the agenda, or 2, you're just not watching what's happening on the field there. So for Alabama, again, if you're a fan, all you want is your shot at the belt. What it's going to take, we'll see. We'll see if there's some scenarios that have to play out. We'll see if beating Georgia's good enough. I don't know, but I do know I wouldn't want to play Alabama right now because they are the hottest team in the country. They're firing on all cylinders. And I'll say this again, there's nothing like out of this world about Alabama with how they're playing. In terms of like, there's nothing Alabama's doing that like they're not supposed to be accomplishing. They're not a bunch of 3-stars that are playing over their level and just finding a way to get it done. Like, this is a group of 4- and 5-star guys that were either a part of a number 1 or number 2 ranked class out of high school, if you sign with Alabama out of high school on this roster, and they're playing to that level, and they're clicking right now. So credit Nick Saban, credit his staff. A lot of credit to Jalen Milroe. Deserves all the juice in the world for how he's playing. So we'll keep an eye on this again. We'll give you our pick in the Auburn game coming up this weekend. We'll give you our pick in the Georgia game coming up in a couple of weeks. Don't miss it. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JDPakel. Hey, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.